Hi, and welcome to another Bobeats video here. And today I'm joined by Accurate Beats.
That's right.
Yeah, and you're gonna teach me about the MPC.
Well, you asked me to show you like the basics of it, so I guess that's what we're gonna do.
But first, you have to do the honors.
This one?
Yeah, you have to do it.
You sure?
Yeah.
This feels kind of special, actually.
So this video was shot a couple of months back, and we didn't know until a couple of days ago that there would be a new update for the whole MPC lineup with MPC 3. And that update looks very promising, but also changes a lot of things that we go over in this video. But I asked online, and a lot of you wanted us to release the video anyway. And it's also Accurate's birthday tomorrow, so of course I had to release the video. So go and say happy birthday to him.
That's the peel.
I think these two.
You do? You do?
I think maybe for this we need something more synthy. We need more synth.
You don't want boom bap kit off the grid? I'm here, but I don't make the music for this one.
I don't technically think that we can call this music just yet.
Soon enough.
We're gonna get there. It's a process. We're gonna get there. Gonna make you a synth believer. And a big thank you to this year's Summer of Synth sponsor, DistroKid. If you want to release your music to the world, go and check out DistroKid, linked down in the description. If you use my link, you get a discount and you support the channel and Summer of Synths. I'm a Machina guy, so for me it's been difficult to get into the MPC One. I've had it for quite a while actually. I think it's the sheer overload of like, if you look at this view, for example, the sheer overload of like stuff that's going on. What do you think is like the most difficult thing?
For a complete beginner, I guess the whole thing about how things are laid out in terms of time, what a sequence is, what a track is, and what a program is. From the first thing here, that's the sequence, that's the track, and that's the program. So the sequence, like any other DAW, that's basically time from point A to point B. Then you actually want to load something up, I guess.
And that's the track.
That's the track. But depending on what you want on the program, you have to assign the right track to it.
Okay.
It sounds more confusing than it is.
But I realized that these small symbols here represent different kinds of tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so, but the first one, what is that?
That's a drum program.
Okay, that's a drum program.
So that's drums, or in my case, chopped up samples.
Sure.
Stuff like that.
And the second one?
Now it says down here, it's a plugin track.
Okay.
In this case, with a synth and a preset.
And then we choose the plugin we want.
Exactly.
Can use this one.
You can use that one, you can press it, or you can just scroll.
Let's do, I've heard good things about Jura, so let's do that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So how do I know what pad is what note?
That's done through the notes.
Oh yeah, okay, so we're here.
So that's the red one there, so
it's
either
a shift,
hold shift that one, or just double click it.
Okay, so you can double click, yeah.
Yeah, you're in A major, and those are the notes, and you can change the scales and all that. It makes a sound.
It makes a sound.
That's step one.
Okay, so let's say I want to record that little pattern that we have there. What's the easiest way from here?
This might be confusing if you don't know the workflow, but I always use overdub as my record button.
Okay.
Record just records, and if you record audio into it, you can only use that one. Overdub doesn't really exist, but for anything MIDI or like triggers like this, I use overdub and play start.
Okay, so to get a count in, or?
Depending on how it's set up, but yeah.
Okay, so if you use overdub, I could then add something else, add to it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
If you don't,
so it's just easier to use overdub so you don't accidentally delete something.
Yeah, because that's what's going to happen if you just use record and play.
Makes sense.
Then it makes a new recording.
Yeah.
And I guess that's one way to think about it. If you just want to like take it out and make another try, another attempt, instead of doing undo and then recording with overdub, just doing that. TC means time correction, so hit that one. That's your setting for it. So now it's on, and you see the parameters. You want to add a bass line?
Yeah, sure.
With another synth, I guess, because you're a synth guy?
Yeah.
Right. Then we just have to stay on the same sequence, but make another track.
So unused.
Yeah.
And we just go here, plugin, Jura, and we can do...
Yeah, but hold on.
Yeah.
Now you're still on plugin 1.
Ah!
Which is maybe not what you want.
No.
No. Huh? I normally just press the plus sign to add another plugin track.
So let's go for that mini D. And I guess you could press sounds here.
Yeah, that's definitely one way to do it. But one thing that you might want to do, since you're a synth guy and whatever, if you went back to the screen that you were at before, the last one, you have edit instrument, and there's the actual parameters for the instrument itself.
Right. You have these 4 knobs here, right?
Yep.
And they correspond to whatever part you have selected here, or?
Yeah, what part you select like that, or what part you go through with the Q-Link knob.
Okay.
Q-Link button.
Yeah.
My bad.
So I can't touch here? No.
You can touch the knob.
Okay, the knob. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that knob gets assigned to this knob.
Okay, cool.
For like easy access. Just click that one, adjust it, or go through them like that. And then you have the different parameters linked to these ones. That's great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you're such a professional.
Can I lower the octave?
The same thing, notes again. Double click, or that. So the banks kind of selects the different instances of the pads. Now we're on C. If we go down there, it should be lower.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Amazing.
The music, fantastic.
We're
gonna get there. Gonna make you a synth believer.
So now you want to basically load up another program on another track.
Okay, so create another track. Number 3.
No. You're getting ahead of yourself. One step at a time. You're still on sequence 1.
Yeah.
That's right. And you're on another track. And you don't want a plugin for this.
Yeah.
Right?
This one.
Yeah, exactly. You want a drum program.
Yeah.
Which is the first drum program. So that's right. And then you just need to load something up.
Okay. Where's the load button?
That's a dedicated button. Boom. Boom.
I think these two.
You do? You do?
Let's load that just to see what it sounds like. Okay. No.
No, because you messed things up and you made more programs than you needed to. And I asked you, what are you doing? And then things just happen.
I think maybe for this we need something more synthy. We need more synth.
You don't want boom bap kit off the grid? I'm here, but I don't make the music for this one.
I don't technically think that we can call this music just yet.
Soon enough.
This is your vibe!
That's old school enough, right?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's say I want to just step sequence the drums, because in my kind of music, that's usually what I do. So I guess we'll go here.
You're guessing wrong. That's a step sequence.
That's a step sequence.
It is.
Right. Awesome. Oh, and now I can just like this.
So that's the time like that.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So that's the 4 on the floor.
Here I'm seeing, in the step sequence view, I'm seeing 16 steps here.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do I change the actual sound I'm putting down?
Pad select.
Okay, pad select. Right. Ah, okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can hold shift and select. Shift, select that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So pad select.
That's the
We got a
snare.
snare. And now.
You changed the pad.
I changed the pad.
You changed the pad.
I went too fast. Okay, so 16 levels is for different velocities.
Could be. Could also be different notes.
Ah, okay, cool.
But in this case, it's set up to be velocity.
Velocity, yeah.
Which is always a good idea. Go into the grid mode to actually see the notes instead.
Okay, grid mode, yeah.
Because that, in one way, that's also kind of a step sequencer, right?
Yeah.
And it's easier to get an overview of everything.
So how do I delete the notes that I have over here?
There are a few different ways.
Mm.
My preferred one is not to delete per se, but to cut it.
Mm.
So shift, cut.
Okay, so select a note and I cut it.
You can also use the eraser tool, but then it gets a little bit fiddly.
How do I move in the... It's just touch or...
Yeah, if you go to the...
that one?
whatever that's called, yeah.
Okay, cool. How would I select that note?
Like that, and then just select whatever you want. That's why I'm trying to avoid the pen and the eraser tool, because whenever you have selected any of those, all things just starts happening.
So it's easier to just use this one to select and then cut, for example.
That's what I do, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, painting notes into the timeline like this in grid mode works.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not how I do things,
Yeah.
but it works.
So you would instead
would
of
just
using
play
a
stuff.
use play stuff and
Yeah.
then just
And if I need to adjust something, I do it from here.
yeah, okay. So okay.
Awesome.
I think we're gonna go a bit backwards here. So I'm probably gonna do a better bass line and then add some synths on top of that.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's the note repeat.
Yeah.
Is there
A different settings on the screen,
setting
yeah.
for it? Yeah.
Depending on how fast you want it.
So if I wanted to go back now and just erase the bass, I would just change to track number 2 here.
Because you don't want to lower the volume of the open hi-hat or something like that. Something crazy like that.
Yeah, okay, let's lower the volume of
I'm
open
just
hi-hat.
asking.
Yeah, let's
If
do
you
that.
love it like that, it's fine. But I'm just
you
asking.
know, I'm not sure I'm loving anything about the music right now.
Okay,
But
okay.
let's lower the hi-hat. So
I think that's a good start.
yeah, okay. So let's where do I do that? The levels thing maybe?
That's like the overall velocity of all the steps.
Okay.
Because you enter the step sequencer. I would actually just enter the mixer, track mix or pad mix.
Nice.
So that's your tracks, the overview of all the different tracks.
Okay, sure.
Double click, pads.
Awesome.
On
So we're on track number 3.
Yeah.
And now we know that
That's the open hi-hat.
and then we can lower it.
You could lower it.
Yeah. So now if I want to delete the bass, is it easier to delete the bass from the piano roll or from... Yeah, over here you could... you told me you could also just delete the notes from this view.
Erase.
Erase, okay.
And then you have to like double check that you're on the right thing.
Yeah, okay. Let's see if we can actually make something musical. I'm just gonna...
before we move on with the video, I want to thank this year's Summer of Synth sponsor, DistroKid. So if you're looking for a way to upload your music to, say, Tidal, Apple Music, Spotify, or other online stores, but you're not quite sure where to start, go and check out DistroKid. There's a couple of reasons why I like DistroKid and why I use them. One of them is that they're very affordable at $22 a year for unlimited music uploads to all the relevant stores. Another reason is that they have a hyperfollow feature. So basically when you upload your music using DistroKid, they also create this custom page where all of your links to all of the different stores and streaming services are gathered, so you don't have to put that together yourself, and you can just share one hyperfollow link to all your followers and listeners. And another thing I like is that DistroKid has an app for your smartphone. If you want to release your music to the world, go and check out DistroKid, linked down in the description. If you use my link, you get a discount and you support the channel and Summer of Synths.
And now, for this, if I wanted to add an insert effect for this bass pluck thing that I got going here on track number 2, how would I go about doing that?
Again, there are a couple of different ways, but I would just hit main menu here. And from this place, it's maybe a little bit weird, but that's the I symbol over there. Brings up kind of the track as you might think of it in a DAW.
Yeah.
Like the track itself.
Yeah.
And here we can choose to apply an insert effect on the pad level or on the program level. Or on the master level if you want that.
Sure.
So that one's for the pads. In this case, not really functional because it's all a single instance of a plugin.
Sure.
And this is the entire program.
Sure.
So over here, just hit that little black
Insert.
box and you can
And
add
now we can
an
add.
insert effect.
And now we can do a delay. And let's just try this one.
Some of the different plugins has built-in effects inside of the actual
Oh,
plugin.
right. Yeah, so we could actually go and...
You maybe don't have to do everything in the insert effect menu.
Yeah. So from here, what's the fastest way to just get up the Mini D interface?
Program edit,
Program edit. Yeah. Okay, cool.
that's it.
And here we can see we have
Delay, for
delay
instance.
on it already.
If you don't want to mess about with too many like insert effects and whatnot.
Okay, so it has chorus delay. We also have an EQ for it.
You don't want to lower the volume of that plug sound?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
So we could do it from here, actually.
For sure.
This is what I struggled with. How would I go about to expand this? So I want to keep this one because the drums are amazing.
They
You know,
are.
they're-
They are. Of course
like,
they are.
let's say I just want to make another drum pattern because I want to have it as a variation
Sure,
in a
sure.
song. The
Yeah,
same.
then you would just copy the sequence over to another slot and rework things
Okay,
from there.
so how would I go about doing that?
That's where that one comes in.
Okay, so there's a little pen icon.
Yeah,
here.
you gotta follow along. We are now on the sequence level. We're
Okay,
not duplicating the track or just the program. We're duplicating everything.
Entire
The
sequence.
entire
yeah.
sequence.
Yeah, yeah,
So
makes
that's
sense.
the pen tool.
Pen tool.
And what
Oh,
you're
and here we can bounce this, so we can bounce the entire
Yeah,
thing
of
to
course.
sample. That's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.
or we could internally resample if we prefer that.
Okay, so we can double the length, so it would just
Yeah.
double everything.
Everything.
Everything, yeah, with notes and everything.
Yeah, so if you have like the drums and the bass and
Sure.
then you want to do something that's 8 bars,
Sure,
then you would have to duplicate the other stuff.
sure.
And then the entire sequence becomes 8 steps instead of 4.
Yeah,
So you're still locking yourself into the framework of 8 or 4 bars or whatever you choose.
yeah, sure.
But in this case, you were asking for just
Copy
copying the sequence.
sequence.
So that's that one. And this might be confusing because it wants to get a name and it suggests sequence 1. But in my mind, this is going to be sequence 2.
Yeah,
Right. So that's the first thing I would do. Just change the name to sequence 2. Back to main, We are on
in
sequence
sequence 2. And now,
Confused.
so now, for example, if I wanted to add something to the drums, for example, I could do that.
Yeah, but you have to think about stuff differently here.
Okay.
It sounds like,
Yeah.
because if you want to change something on the drums, yeah, but what do you want to change? The notes or the sounds?
Yeah, okay, so sounds I can't change because then I need to make another track with another plugin, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and if I want to change the notes within the same VST
You can do that.
on the track here.
But anything you change to the program will apply to
Yeah.
all the sequences where that program is being used.
So, for example, if we have this little melodic. Wait, that's not the one I want to do. Let's go to.
Take it slow.
Let's go to
What
track.
do you want to do?
Let's go to track number 5. I want to delete the bass,
The notes.
the notes. Would that be erased then?
It would be.
It's a bit easy to mess it up, at least when
As a
you're
beginner,
not used to. Yeah.
As a beginner, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course it is. That's
Yeah.
why what I always tell people, that you're going to have to spend a little bit of time to learn it. It's not something that you can just fire up and go ham
Yeah.
and make beats.
Yeah.
It's not that easy. And we're skipping over a lot of stuff that could be kind of useful for someone like you when we're talking about either if you do it in this one or if you do it in the on the step sequencer. You can do like all the normal stuff that you would expect from a normal like drum machine.
Sure.
Adjusting the parameters for probability, for micro timing, for stuff like that kind of happens randomly in the sequence. That could all be done from here too. Basically, just choose a note or whatever you want, maybe the entire note or just a single hit, and then go automation. And over here you can do more stuff than just velocity. Over here you can do probability, ratcheting, and stuff like that per step.
All right, and there's even more stuff we can.
Yeah, you can do all sorts of MIDI CCs and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So stuff like the ratcheting could be cool for like trap producers that makes, super quick hi-hat patterns, makes them trigger more than once. And you know what all this is. But it's kind of useful, especially for drums or samples in my case. If we go here, the XY effects.
Oh, yeah, right.
This one is applied to the entire output, so still on the master. And here we have some stuff. Similar to like the Chaos pad.
Okay, yeah, that's true. So now another thing that I really wanted to understand is also how to kind of sample into it. Where do I go to sample?
Hit sample. Yeah, so you have to set up a few things.
Sure.
How long do we want to sample for? Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the threshold for when it's going to start sampling. So I would turn that one down like that.
Okay, sure.
Just to make it sample as soon as it notices anything.
Okay, I think we have the different parts.
Cool.
Okay, new sample. Let's call it Lo-Fi Bosse.
Bosse.
Okay, and now I choose what program I want to assign it to. And since program 001 doesn't have anything I can assign it to, right?
No, because we made a new project.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's fine.
So, keep?
Keep. Go to the main one.
Sure.
We are on program 1. That's where we assign the sample to.
Yeah.
Right? Sample edit.
Sample it. Yeah.
There we are. So if we want to work with the entire sample like this and then chop it up from here, we go to chop.
Okay.
And either just play it and hit the next pad whenever you want the slice point to be set, or do it differently. That depends on what you want to do. And we don't have to think about the end point. So we could keep doing that through the entire thing,
Sure.
which is kind of a better way to do it if you're working with shorter samples.
Exactly. If you just want to chop something up,
Yeah,
that would be the way to do it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Then just go to the pen tool and add slice points.
Pen tool, and I add here.
Yeah.
And here. And here. Here. And here.
Everything's all set up roughly.
Sure.
It's not perfect. It's not even great.
Yeah.
Always, but it's somewhat decent. Now we need to convert this into a drum program and start working with the sample from there.
Sure.
It's maybe not the most obvious thing in the world, but hold shift and you will get more options down here.
Oh, right. Yeah, because I didn't see anything. So convert.
Convert. And here people have different opinions, but I prefer not to use non-destructive slice. Over here, you have another option that's pad parameters, which basically keeps the entire sample in the slot, but it remembers the slice point.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't like take anything out of it.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And you're able to overlap if you want.
Do it.
And we're back to the slicing point, slicing page, main program. Now we made a new program, a new drum program, and it's over there.
Yeah.
And that's the new starting point. Right?
Sure.
And from here, program edit. And the way to do this now is to use the knobs instead of the screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. Oh, nice. This is much better. Okay.
And this is interesting because this is different strengths, basically. This is changing a lot. This is changing less.
Okay.
Less,
That's really good to know.
Fine-tuning.
All right.
So if you want to go there and then fine-tune like that, zoom in, you see, that makes a difference, but it's not much. So very precise if you want to.
So, yeah. Are the pads already assigned to like a choke group or?
Yes and no. When it works like this, it's basically the same kind of functionality, but it's not a choke group per se. If we go back to global, we can see that the entire thing is in mono. Over there and over there. So the pads cut each other off.
Yeah.
And if you want to take this one step further, just to start trying to think about different ideas and stuff, we are on the global setting of the drum program. Right. So doing stuff like changing the pitch applies to everything in the drum program. If you want to, try out stuff like that. And what I think is really fun here when it comes to the program edit is if we go to this page, we can see that different pads are assigned to different samples, right? And we can do 4 layers of them. So if you had one that's just the drums and another one that's just the bass, you can add both of them into one pad if you wanted to.
How? How do you mean? Like
layer 1 is over here, layer 2 is over here, layer 3 over here.
Okay.
So
also, for each pad, there are 4 layers. Yeah.
So that you want to layer up a snare with a rim shot, then you can do it on one pad, but with 2 samples. That's the 4 layers over there. You can also see them like that. So now you have 4 different layers where you can assign different parameters, basically. So you can have them pitch shifted differently from each other, but on the same pad.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Andreas,
for
having fun with me today, and in a not so glamorous way. Checking it out.
I hope you learned something.
I did.
Cool.
And now I can actually take my ideas from the OP1 field and put them in here instead, and actually play them
and chop samples.
That's
what I like.
Let's go.